How do there, guys? How do? Messed this one right up this week, haven't we? We was going to do it a little bit later because the darts. We tried delaying it a bit, but for some reason I got the time wrong and I put it down as 10:45. So yeah, we're just watching the end of the darts. Thought we'd go like so it was going to be 9:45, which is now roughly around this sort of time. Zach's just gone to get his shoes off. We had a bit of football earlier, so yeah, we just finished with that. I'm just watching the end of the Price and Bunting game. I was hoping to try and jump at the end of it. That's why it was 9:30 this week rather than the 7:30 normal time. But hopefully we'll get there in a second. I'm sure things will be got on the notifications. Obviously, I got the timing wrong, so people don't work too well with that. What's happening? Hope you're as well. NW Darts. Yeah, we're all good, thank you, all good. Like I said, we've just been playing for some football this evening. So, and I scored against Zach. Nice little near post goal. Christian, how do? Tristan, Bosch. I don't know if that's right. Evening, the Scottish lad. How do, Mark Yule? How do? Who are you going for in this one, by the way, guys? Just while we wait for Zach and everything to pick up, because like I say, the timings are all completely wrong at the minute. We got it so badly wrong with the timings. It looks like Price is about to win the game. 2-0 up. 3-2 up in sets. But you never know. Oh, it's Nathan. Cool. Change your YouTube name. Hope all's going well. Looks like this could be it. 4-2 to Price. All Welsh final. Price and Johnny Clayton. That'll be good. How do, Bobby? Hello, Paul Heron. How do? Welcome to the stream. There's going to be plenty to chat about. It's mostly going to be Grand Prix stuff tonight because there's so much happened this week in the Grand Prix. So it'll be a great opportunity to sit and chat through some of that stuff. Daniel Green, how do? Oven Star, how do? I wanted Bunting, but I'd say Price. It's looking very likely at the moment. Price has got a good lead here. Should be, Bunting 180. Yeah. Doesn't take much, does it? It turns around. That's a good thing about darts. Never over. As Ian White shown, probably the best comeback. I know we had the other good comeback as well. Was it Dave Chisnell? But the Ian White one for me, he looked like he was going to lose it 9-0 in legs, and then all of a sudden, but we'll get to that in a bit. Hello, Matthew and Macy, how do? Paddy, how do? He's saying evening to Zach as well, but Zach's kind of not here yet. He's not here yet. I've just got to adjust that start time because I've still got the start time down as 10:45 because I absolutely messed it up. Where is it? Here we go. Where's 9? 9, 9, 9, 9. There we go. That's better. That's. We have trouble saving your video. Oh, it won't let me adjust it. What is going on? Checking out the Price. Price through to the final. Good performance there. Seen social media talking a lot about Gerwin Price. I didn't manage to catch all the game. I'm guessing there was a little bit of growling, argy-bargy, that sort of stuff. Let me just put this out now and just say, we are live! Where do we go? And we are live. Just share the stream. Oh, here he is. He's here.
Hello.
Are you doing an exhibition soon with Jamie Caven? I don't think so. I don't think I am. But yeah, he's arrived.
Can't see myself in the shot yet.
No, let's put you on there so you can see. There you are.
Look. Oh yeah.
You can just blend into the background with that shirt.
Yeah, I do a little bit. Camouflage. Sorry, so messy, guys.
Do you want to get out of my screen? Look, you're in my shot.
Sorry. Well, you got to remind. Well, you're not in my shot.
No, I'm not. No.
Oh, sorry.
So there we go. So, like I said, slightly different because we was trying to watch the darts at the same time tonight. I tell you what, right? Price hasn't been the best player this week in terms of the stats and the averages, has he? But like Chisnell said in his interview, he knows how to win. Whatever his opponent does, he does that just a little bit more.
I guess that's the difference. He's just good at winning.
Evening, Eugene. Daz. Evening.
Oh.
Evening, Jaron.
Sharon.
Nice to see you not in the bar this evening, Jaron. I messed the time up. Look, I put it down at 10:45.
Yeah, I saw it, but I couldn't change it. I don't know why it didn't let you change it.
Yeah, I tried updating it now. So, yeah.
Get everyone in, get everyone in.
It might not be it might not be as popular as normal.
Alright. Have you tweeted it out?
I just did now, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Because I mean originally we normally do these at 7:30, but we was trying to grab some darts and things in there, so we had that one to chat through. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Just why you're having a little bit of a quick chat, I'm gonna see if I can find that topic that I wanted to talk about tonight.
Oh yes, yeah, I know what you think. I can't. I know his name.
I think it was in that group.
He put it in all of them.
Yeah.
I know his name if you need to find it.
Do you want to? If I go search there, I think you can search it.
That one.
Cotlam.
Yeah, it should be.
Oh.
I was only not searching the group.
Yeah, here we go. We found it. Ah.
Oh, here you go. I wish I could hear what he's saying.
You're saying, I was bloody good, man.
It's playing absolutely ridiculous. Stephen Bunting never really turned up here. But, I'm just used to winning. The crowd weren't on my side, but I thought, to be fair, I play well.
Cool,
Welsh,
I've got that ready.
a Welsh final.
I've got that ready now. So, yeah. Should we start with that topic?
Well, that one?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go for what's on the telly?
I think we should maybe start with this one.
Okay.
Because I think the names that I'm seeing come up in the chat, I think would probably enjoy this topic and have some sort of input towards it.
Okay, so basically the topic is, again, we touched on this last week about dartboards. Now, obviously, with dartboards, they're not very, what's the word? They're quite hard to make, and when you're making a lot of them, it's hard to get them perfect every time. Now, there's a chap on a dart group, as you can see coming up on the screen now. He ordered a board. I think this is his second time this had happened though. So he'd ordered a board from Mission. One of them, I think, is a Mission Samurai.
Yeah.
And the board came, and it had a couple of little defects on it. And he was obviously emailing back and forward with Darts Corner, and he wasn't very happy. Now, as you can see on one of the images, I mean, number one, there's a little bit of a defect in there, but obviously when the board, that spider wire is pressed into the board, it's not like the way to picture it is kind of like if you had a hot knife going through cheese. It's not like that. It's quite, it's difficult. You're going to get resistance. It's a very hard process to control. Now, you will get it, you can get it perfect, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of times it won't be. Now, for me, I saw this guy post and he was very angry, and he was like, and basically Darts Corner or Mission, whoever he spoke to, basically said, this is an acceptable board. Granted that it's not perfect, and they said, look, we can find you boards that have a different process which make that less likely to happen. But our process, there are some things that aren't quite perfect, so this is still a usable, acceptable board. And I agreed. And other people were like, well, Winmore don't have this. Now, Winmore do have that problem, and that's why they sell them as not perfect quality boards separately. And the fact that Winmore have to have a whole separate area for not perfect quality boards shows you that there's quite a lot that aren't perfect. The fact that they've got a whole different segment that they can sell separately shows that this is an issue with the boards. Now, that's obviously not what Mission do. They will send out most things. And yeah, I put in the comment to the guy, I said, look, I totally get where you're coming from. I can see why you'd be disappointed, but the board is totally usable. And I imagine, guys in the chat, let me know, you will get a board and there'll be times where the paint is slightly over, or, there's a wire a little bit
The question we've got for you guys is, well, we've got two questions.
Yeah.
First one is, what would you deem as an unacceptable dartboard? What would you go, right, I want my money back on that board, that board's not good enough. But on the flip side, do you think that this meets that criteria? Personally, I think not. And also, I saw someone else, Eugene Ronan, says, oh, I seen that, I didn't agree with it. So what we'll do, it's posted all over social media, so I'll do a window grab quickly and I'll share with you the photos and make your judgment. What do you think? Would you say this is an acceptable board, or would you also have an issue with it?
Well, if I'd have paid £80 for a unicorn board...
Oh, wrong one.
If I'd have paid £80 for a unicorn board, I'd probably expected it to be pretty bang on.
Okay, here we go. So, in this photo, I think the only bit we're looking at, I think we're looking at that.
Yeah.
That little gap there.
Now, for me also, that's on the inside wire.
Yeah.
If you're getting darts there, maybe if you've missed the bullseye.
But the thing is, the more you use the board and you're hitting here, that's going to spread anyway.
Yeah.
And this area is going to soften the more darts that go into it. So it is actually going to, them little gaps are going to fill in. That's just where it's not compacted up against the spider wire. So yeah, that's not really, for me, I think that's a nothing issue. What we got in this one?
Another one there, yeah.
This that we're looking at.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that the same one?
I don't know.
I think that's the same one, but sideways.
Maybe. It does look similar shape, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly the same one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely see, because look, you see here where you've got this black bit around there?
Yeah.
If you look on this one, it's
okay.
So it's the same one, it's just sideways.
Yeah.
And
then the next one, this is the one he had a problem. Well, that I don't see a problem there. You can see those little lines. Again,
what we're looking at here?
I think he's on about these lines on the bullseye. Look.
These bits?
They look almost like cracks, but you get that.
Oh, it's just lines on the board.
It's the sizzle. It's the sizzle.
Yeah.
Or sizzle. I don't know the correct pronouncing of it. But again, guys, like there may be some people in his boat. Don't get me wrong. You know, people may find that unacceptable, but it's just in my opinion. If that doesn't affect the performance of the board, if it just looks a little bit different, it's still a good board. This is the one where he said to me, because I said, look, I think it's a perfectly usable board. Granted, maybe that's a little bit of an issue. I said, number one, 98% on that double is still...
I wouldn't even say 98%,
okay.
I'd say 99.5.
Number one, it's going to be very rare you're going to hit it in there.
We're looking at this section here.
And number two, I think even if you did get it there, it's still going to stick in. If it doesn't, because he said to me, okay, well, what if we were playing a game of online darts and it went in there and fell out? Would you give me the game?
Because the board's depth.
Yeah, and I said, look, if it fell out, obviously it does it on normal boards without defects.
Yeah.
You know, if it happens, it happens. It still wouldn't count. But the chance of you hitting that is very, very slim. That doesn't make it an unusable board. That makes it. It's a one in a very high amount that's going to go.
And the dart will still catch in there anyway.
Yes.
Because the depth of the board.
Don't get me wrong, I can see why the guy maybe be a little bit disappointed, but I don't think that's enough for a refund. I think other companies, don't get me wrong, wouldn't accept that. I would say maybe that would be branded. Maybe if it was Wimble, would that be a not perfect quality board? Maybe.
But last week when we spoke about boards, and I put it out this morning with the chat we had last week, we said you get what you pay for. And with the new unicorn board, it was a case of, will this be that? Now, exactly that. You know, it's just a very minor defect, and that's the response. Yeah,
because to be fair I think this is maybe the second board, so maybe he's a bit more frustrated that it's happened again. But you're going to get little defects, and I just think he has the right to be disappointed, but I don't think it's enough to affect the performance of the board enough to warrant for.
Okay, let's have a quick look, see what the comments are. Kane said hello. Mark's in the chat. How do? Some people are never happy. Small blemishes mean nothing. I personally agree. I mean, there's 3 photos there, and 2 of them are the same one.
Yeah. See, look, people saying the board is fine. Yeah, the board is fine.
Can't say I'd be unhappy if that's the only blemish. I'd want my money back on dead spots or wires coming out.
Yeah,
otherwise
that's
it's a target. If it's a unicorn board, I'd want perfect quality visually, as that's what I've seen from Jack's.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and you paid £80.
Yeah.
Well, I think
what
the
you
boards
pay
are
obviously
30,
does affect what you expect from the product as well.
Yes.
I saw that post. Wouldn't personally bother me. Every board I have purchased had something similar. Yeah, it's just how they're made, isn't it? Really, there's nothing.
Now, is it because that some companies don't send out these things that we? I mean, again, people are saying in the chat, "Oh, I've had similar," but is it because these days some of the products are getting so good that we expect perfection? Or maybe, or on the TV they're all perfect. Obviously, the TV boards are going to be. Do you think maybe that has an effect on what people?
I mean, you've
expect
seen
at
from my
home?
videos before. The boards you see on TV are not what you'll buy in Argos.
Yeah,
They're different. They are. Most people are saying it looks okay to them. Michael O'Brien says, how many darts does a pro player have? Normally 6.
yeah.
Normally 6 is sort of the go-to. I wouldn't expect such imperfections on a premium product, but that's just my high standards. That's fair, Jaron. If it's a product branded premium, you expect premium. I mean, me personally, I still would say that is more than good enough. But then again, I'm not fussy.
Yeah,
I'm really
I can
not
think
fussy,
it depends
am
on the person.
Yeah,
We're not
I'm-
saying that guy's. I think that guy's being harsh. I don't know whether it's I can understand why the company is sort of saying we're not accepting that this board isn't good enough because it is good enough. Is it perfect? No. That's the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. We caught up with those. I've not really found. It's interesting to see what people saying like with imperfections. They're mostly talking about things like the wiring or like the board bubbling as such, which I think actually comes down to a bit to do with storage of the board as well. Because if the board gets damp, doesn't it? That's when you sort of get that sort of raising of the
But
bubbling.
they're going to
of
come
the
over
water.
on big ships in massive crates, and they're not going to be bubble wraps, and you're going to get little dents. If you do get that one, I think most companies are, oh, if that was the case, they'd be like, oh yeah, apologies, this is a problem. But little visual spots.
See, there's a very interesting point there. Put Me Back on My Bike has just brought up. Said that the unicorn board is soft. But he's also give a very, very good thing there. That he says actually the softer board makes it silent, so it's more suitable for home play.
Yeah.
Is this a conscious decision, do you think, that actually we're trying to get boards softer for home play? Because we mentioned last week, someone mentioned about maybe putting a soundproofing into a board, which would actually make it easier for home play. Is this maybe something Unicorn are actually trying to achieve?
Again, for me, this is I think people Unicorn have designed a board for telly. It's not for home, and for me, the Blade 5 dual core was soft, and I liked it because you keep putting the darts in. That it wouldn't. I felt like it didn't leave the holes in like the harder boards do. You pull the dart out and there's a hole there. I felt like it closed up a bit easier.
Mark Yule, you have just worded exactly what I am thinking. You will find imperfections if you look for them.
Do you think because it was his second time that he's then like double checking with a fine tooth comb? I'd have stuck the board up. I wouldn't have even checked it probably.
I think some of it also comes down to social media as well, and I think the thing is to some people it's a way of venting a problem sort of thing. Major companies, big companies have departments that search for their company. Like let's say for example I was going to talk about Cadbury's in a bad. Cadbury's are probably one that's got it, where they've got a social media department, and their job is to limit the damage. So if someone's talking about Cadbury's, they will watch that conversation and see if it's good or if it's bad, and then they'll look at the reach that person's got. If that person's got a good reach, they'll be like, right, we need to calm this down. We need to put some water on this fire here because this could grow as a problem. And I think that's a little bit what this guy was trying to do in the fact that he posted it in every single darts group going, thinking he was going to give them bad press. And he probably even said, and I'm guessing, if you look in his sent box, there'll be I'm going to post this on every single dart group unless this happens. And I wouldn't be surprised to have seen that.
Yeah, again, it's true. Don't get me wrong, I can understand why he might be disappointed, especially if it's the second board he's got, because I think he had an issue with it the first time, and they sent him another one. So, yeah, it's very tricky. But I also think that we kind of have a good idea of what the quality ones are.
The one funny thing that I saw about that thread was he goes, "I've never had a problem with windmill boards before." But why don't you just buy a windmill board then? Why did you change?
Yeah, well, what he said was that they use it at Super League and he thinks it's rubbish, but he wanted to practice on it. Because I guess it's kind of like players sometimes want the unicorn board because this is what they use on the Pro Tour. They want to get used to that setup. I mean, for me, at home use, it's more about lasting long. And again, I think this is something that if the darts manufacturer can brand it as a quiet board, like soft is good, soft is quiet.
Would a soft board last longer? I'm guessing so, because it's not going to be packed as tight.
Well, I found that the Winmore one was soft. It was nice and soft, but I think it was still not. I don't think you needed the rough points on it either. I think it was the perfect balance.
Do you know what? I might have to, next time I see one of the people from one of these brands, I might even ask to them and just say, like, is it a conscious decision to actually make them softer?
I think it depends on the quality of material and how it's cut. And I think there's a lot of different elements of it and how
the thing
it's
is, the ingredient, the things that make up a board, the way you're getting two boards exactly the same is going to be hard.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah. Like, the way that materials work, I mean, if you zoomed in hundreds of thousands of times, there's going to be, it's kind of like snowflakes. I don't think any two dartboards, like you say, are going to be the same.
But I've just got a mark put there because I work in quality control. Just trust me, nothing gets checked 100%.
Oh no! I studied a bit of quality control. They will probably sample 1 every 10. You know, because for them to check every single dartboard that comes off, if they check 1 every 10 and they get, let's say that means they checked 100 boards. Let's say 80 of them were bad. They would get a very good idea that most of the rest of them will be bad. 80% will be bad. And that's usually how they do it. So some will come through. But
Adam's asked, what do you think is the best darts manufacturer for dartboards?
I think
personally, I really enjoyed the Target Pro Tour board. I thought that was good.
I mean, I think it depends on what level you are as well.
Yeah.
Because
I think you want from a board.
With dartboards, you could be cheap and cheerful. In all honesty, I mean, I don't think does anyone at home need the new unicorn board. No. Granted, if you want it, do the extras make enough difference for you? I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. But for me, the
do you know what needs to happen? What? This will be really good, actually. Do you know, like with a tyre, you go into the shop and you go, right, I want a tyre, and they go, right, it's this good in the wet, it's like grade this in the wet, grade this. Maybe what we need to do is we need to go through a range of boards and go, right, longevity, firmness, and sort of grade boards based on different, because like you say, what do you want from a board? Do you want a board to last you the full year? Do you want a board, what are you looking for out of a board?
I think it's lasting and not, I think no one wants hassle. If I have to rotate it every 2 days, I'm not going to be very happy. Yeah. Because especially now with these surround lights, I've got the Taurus one, you have to unclip it, you have to move it all around, reclip it on, clip it. If I have to keep doing that a lot, I'm going to get annoyed. For me, it's...
But doesn't that come down to what we saw when we went to Carl's up at St Helens, where a turning fascia might be more the way forward
potentially,
at some point?
But the thing is, like, obviously if you separate the numbers, it's fine. But the other side of it is that... Because I thought about why don't you have like almost like a ball bearing section that the middle spins and the outside stays the same. But then obviously you've got a small gap that darts can go in, and you cause outrage. It has to be solid, really. But rubber feet instead of plastic. For me, I would focus, if I was a darts board manufacturer, I would want to focus on sound, and just longevity's hard because it's more about the material and how it's compacted.
And it's what you're actually throwing at it, because longevity for me is going to be different for longevity for you.
Yes, I mean, I don't use fancy points. I've got a little bit of grip on there, and I use the Harrows. I can't remember. They've got a tiny little Barbie bit at the end for my finger, but they're smooth otherwise. I personally, the boards don't really matter for me. We practice on the HD2.
It's lasted well.
It's been okay. Yeah, I find that it wears a little bit quicker than the blade, but I wouldn't say it makes it a bad board. But
You say it wears quicker though, but does that account for the fact that I've been coming round and throwing as much as I do on it?
I don't know. I just feel like even before then, the need for when I feel like it's at a rotate, because I'll same with darts fights. I will throw my darts fights until they're battered, until I feel like they start to rip, and I'm like, okay, I'll change them now. For me, it's the same with dartboards. I'll probably rotate a little bit late, but too late if I'm honest, and then it starts to bump out a little bit. But I just feel like that it gets battered a little bit quicker. But it's
something that I really want to bring up and have a good chat about, and I'm interested to see what other people, because we've obviously had this chat and we chat about it all the time. We're watching it a week. The World Grand Prix. What is the story for you so far? One story, your highlight, your headline. Get it in that chat box. What is it? What is the highlight for me? I really enjoyed Ryan Searle's finishing against Luke Humphries.
Oh,
that 170 as well was just such a nice moment, because you just know what they're both thinking. And Luke looks at him, and I just loved that moment straight after the 1-3-2. I think that really stood out for me as something that
it's nice to see people acknowledge each other. Because when I play down the pub, like mid-game, people would be saying, "Oh, good darts, mate." And it was kind of like that pub. It was almost like a pub game that was on telly. They would just go, "Oh, good darts, mate." They were fist bumping each other just because of a good checkout. It was just.
There's a lot of
good to see, and it was a shame not to be a loser because they're both great guys.
Noppert versus Van Gerwen, that's something that, because it happened so early, it's almost been overshadowed a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean Noppert had a real good run.
He played very well against Van Gerwen.
Yeah,
worthy semi-final.
I missed the Clayton game, so I can't say too much about that. But
Noppert class performance.
His checking out was great. His checking in was great. I think
the crowd is rubbish.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the comments.
Well, a lot of people are talking about the booing at the moment as well. I think that's a bit of a popular topic. I've looked on the Facebook groups; it's everywhere. Price talking about the booing, and 1 minute he doesn't care. He says he doesn't care, and then he's mentioning it again, and it's very tricky. But I feel like as soon as you say that, you open yourself up to it, whether it's right or wrong. Is another story, but I mean, people saying, "Oh, Van Gerwen does the same sort of celebrations and he doesn't get booed."
See that there, I want to pick up on this actually first. Tristan's put Rob Cross for getting his darts.
Oh,
the thing is, that wouldn't have been Rob Cross for getting his darts. That would have been a breakdown with the thing. So as a player, what happens is you'll be standing having a practice in the players' lounge. And then before you go on, so what they'll do is a set before. So if someone goes in that format, 1-0 up. As soon as that happens, they go, right, you need to go to the holding room. You go to the holding room, there's a toilet in there, and there's 2 practice boards. And you stay in there with a security guard who's ready to walk you down to where you need to go. So you'll be having your practice in there. At the end of that practice, they'll go, right, you got 5 minutes from the last dart or whatever it is. Last dart goes in and they'll give you a countdown. 2 minutes, guys. 1 minute. Last 9. Last 6. Last 3. Off we go. And then they'll say, right, are you carrying darts or would you like them putting on the stage? And then most people go, on the stage, please. And they give it to the security guard, whose job is then to make sure it's on the table ready for you, so that when you do your walk on, you've got your hands free and you can do what you want with them. And by the way, that is always the answer. For anyone who ever gets asked, do you want your darts on the stage? The answer is yes. And I'll get to that in a second as to why.
Yeah, some people carry on, don't they?
Yeah.
Gezi does always, I think.
So, yeah, you get the choice. Walk down, do that, the darts are there. So there was a breakdown in that point where he'd handed the darts to someone and they didn't arrive.
Yeah.
So that it wouldn't have been Rob Cross for getting them, it would have been that line of communication between the two there would have done it. Now, if you notice in COVID, players all carried their darts.
Yeah.
Because obviously they weren't allowed to pass the darts around to different people and things, wasn't they? So yeah, that's what happened with that situation. The reason I say the answer is always yes, I believe it was a wrestler called the Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, I love Sergeant Slaughter.
And he said, anytime you're the champion, you always wear the belt. Because if you carry the belt down the ring, you've got your hands free to show emotion, to clap hands, to wait. You know, it's something in your hands, and it's You know, and the other thing is it's a clutch for nervous. You know, if you're nervous, you always want to do something with your hands, don't you? You know, or I want to put my hands in my pockets. I want to, I want to fiddle with this. I want to do that, and it's just get it out your hands and be there.
Says the man who forgot his darts at the Super Series.
Yeah, well, we always make little mistakes. The problem was, I didn't put them in my hands because I left my hands free, and didn't fill them back up at any point. So
classic. It's alright, Thornton Darts saved the day. Kind of. You'd already played Johnny at that point, nearly beat him. Like a 95 average with 3 different...
Timo, and I don't mean Werner, has said, I won't want someone handling my match darts. A lot of the time, what we do is, like, we'll put them in a case with a flight sticking out, and then you put some, like a towel over the top of it, or you put it in the case, fold the case over, and you hand it like that. And if you look at it, you'll see the darts are all set up in the case, sticking out, and then it just comes on.
Yeah, I guess a superstition maybe. It's interesting. But yeah, someone mentioned earlier about the format of the Grand Prix, and I think for me that's the appeal. Because unless you double in, you don't have the set. You don't have the throw unless you've doubled in. The bullseye is irrelevant at the start because you might miss 3 at getting in. And I think that dynamic makes it so exciting because you can win the first leg or break the throw, but then you miss 3 at the next go, and then it's a straight throw back. And
even not missing the 3, even just getting in with the last dart, you go, oh, I'm in, but then the other guy comes back and bashes a ton in, and you're in on an odd number. You know, darts is played in blocks, and it's things like if you slip out and you hit a 5, you've got to then get 2 trebles to get yourself back on, or you're in under the block of 3. If you hit 2 shots without a treble, it puts you into another block where you've got to get a max to get out that block. The thing is, depending on your starting double, if you start on a 40, for example, that's probably going to put you in under the block. Yeah.
Well, someone said the other day that if you were behind, and that you should go for tops because then you can hit a 9 dart leg. As in, well, obviously after you've got in. Whereas if you start on 32, it puts out the option of a 9 dart leg, you can then only do it in 12.
There seems to be a lot of love for Emma tonight.
I haven't. Well, it's changed channel now, but yeah, Emma. Oh, you like Emma? You always say she's a
very
really
good presenter.
Yeah,
And she looks like she's got a very good personality.
Yeah.
When is my next tournament? My next tournament is not next week, the week after.
Pro Tour.
Pro Tour, yeah.
Barnsley.
In Barnsley, it is. It is in Barnsley. So, guys, who wins the World Grand Prix? Going Price, Johnny Clayton. I'm going Price.
I think it's got to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just played. 2
of us on Going Price here.
He's played well. However, what I will say is this: if this crowd debacle goes on, I mean, it's Welsh versus Welsh, so I don't think there's necessarily going to be a clear favourite. But I think the fact that Gerwin's mentioned it, and I think he called the crowd pathetic, so people are going to be rubbed up anyway. I think if he's still getting annoyed with it, it'll play a part if they keep on.
Here come the votes. Price, Clayton. Plus she's stunning. He's gone back to that one again.
Yeah.
The ferret. Clayton's winning the vote at the moment.
You know what? I really like Clayton. I think he's one of the most informed players in darts at the moment. Gezi is just phenomenal.
Clayton.
He just wins.
It's interesting, isn't it? We can't get a clear-cut winner on the votes. The ferret's hungry.
I like that. Hungry ferret.
Well, that's, I think, what makes this a good final, actually, because there's no clear-cut on here.
I set double 16 on my own throw, double 20 on my opponent's. Yeah, do you know what? I like that.
Clayton outscores.
I think Price relishes the role of the heel.
That means the bad guy.
Yeah. I kind of think he does and he doesn't. I think he does when he's playing well. I think he doesn't when he's not. Because it's very easy to pinpoint it. When he's playing well, I think he thrives on it. But when he's just got that little bit of doubt or that little bit of an area in his game that he's not very happy with, I think he struggles a little bit, to be honest. So, you know, hopefully the darts do the talking anyway, whoever wins. But
I think it'll be a good final. Be a good final.
oh yeah, for sure. I think the doubling in will be good. But
hard one to call. It is, isn't it?
Starting double 11. Yeah. I wonder if Mensah would start on double 14.
I think he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he was in this one, was he?
I think Price struggling with injury, to be fair. Do you know what? Since he pulled out of that event, he's won a Euro Tour and he's in the final of a major, all within 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think the problem with Price is, do you know what Price reminds me of? Liverpool. Absolutely brilliant, but I think people don't like Liverpool fans.
Do you know what, right? Here's something to always remember. Anyone who is top, Gerwyn Price is the world number one. He's the world champion. Anyone who is the top or the best of their sport has unlikable characteristics.
Yeah.
But they always are able to win.
Yeah.
Maybe having likable characteristics is a bit of a hindrance. Because who's been really likeable who's been world number one? No one really liked Taylor. People always moaned about Van Gerwen.
I think the thing is, and I find it with boxers, is that you have to have a winning mentality with boxing, because if you go in thinking you're going to lose, you probably will. If you think that guy's going to beat you, probably. So
it's like most photo sports, really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I think sometimes it's very. I don't think darts are arrogant. But not many darts players are arrogant, but I think the sheer confidence sometimes. I think the difference is Van Gogh's always been very humble. He knows when he's at his full force and he'll say it, but he knows when he's not. And I don't know.
Same for Bristow, yeah. I can't think of a sport where someone's been at the very pinnacle of it.
Federer.
And everyone goes, oh, what a lovely man.
I think Federer in tennis, probably. And like Nadal, I don't think you can't really not like either of those two. I think tennis is one of those sports, so. But
what's the Mo Farah? He comes across all right.
Yeah. But I think it's slightly different. I don't think. I think in some sports, I think tennis is maybe a bit different. But running, you can let your thing. You don't have to play mind games with anyone.
No. Well, if I were Mo Farah, I'd be running backwards and doing some side steps.
Yeah.
A couple of high knees.
Feed the chickens.
Now we're doing loads.
Yeah, I'd love to run like Mo Farah.
Speaking of sports and different things, did anyone score a goal against you this evening?
Yeah, you scored a goal against me, but how many goals did you score tonight?
2 or 3. Yeah.
How many goals did I score tonight?
It was
about 5 or 6?
Yeah, but weren't it? 5 or 6? You got 2.
You know I did not got. You don't start.
You hit the post on the other ones.
I hit a post on one, and then it came back to me, and I laid it.
And you hit the post again.
No.
Oh no, it was the other guy who hit the post. Then you
yeah.
hit the other post.
Yeah, I hit the other post, and then someone else put it in. But our team won, and I bagged at least 5.
No.
You know I did. You're just saying it because we're on camera now.
No.
Yes.
There weren't 5.
And come on, 2 of them were worldies. You even said on the way home.
The thing with
worldies.
The thing with Zach, right? He was in goal. And I've opened up the body to make him think I'm going on the far post, and he's already set off. And I just took it in the inside post. Like, there you go.
Right, number 1, let's be clear. I'm not the stature of a goalkeeper. The post is wider than me.
I can tell you a true story, actually.
Oh, I know you
So,
say.
So me and Zach went to a football training session, and it was for a new team.
They were good as well. I'm not very good.
We've not been to this team fight. It was a good team, and Zach went in goal, and the ball's coming in.
You rotate, by the way. I didn't go. Yeah, I'm a keeper.
The ball's coming in, and all he had to do was this.
No, let's be clear, right? First time I kicked it away, and then they got it again.
All
Second time I stopped it with my foot, and then
just catch the ball.
The ball came towards me for some reason.
Hang on, I'm telling the story.
Go on, go on then. Go on then.
No,
but you changed it.
No, I haven't got to that bit yet. All he had to do was this. Just catch the ball. Or he could have just done a nice little W and just get round to the ball. Lovely.
W.
Nice little catch. The ball was coming in at about 3 miles an hour. Not a problem. Zach does this. And he slaps the ball straight back to the striker and just goes, bang, goal.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what are you doing? And then you hear this voice from the other side of the pitch. It's not pat a cake, mate.
He's been laughing about it for ages.
Pat a cake.
He would just be sitting there. He would just be sitting there. He would laugh to himself and he'd go, pat a cake.
It's not pat a cake, mate.
He's just jealous. He's just jealous because I scored more than him tonight. He's just a bit upset.
And then he just bashes it in the goal.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Blimey.
Oh, it was so funny. It was so funny.
But yeah, and then we were like, oh, we better come back because we've got a lovely live stream to do.
Yes, yeah.
Which is where we are now.
And I had to peel my shirt off me because I was very sweaty.
Oh God, it was humid tonight.
Yeah.
I tell you now. But I guess you're kind of glad sometimes when you play football that darts is quite chilled. That you can come home and just casually play darts. I think if darts became a sweaty sport, it would be very hard. I think the match play would then be very, very, even more impressive. I guess it is hot on stage, but I just can't imagine being that hot for that long. I don't know how tennis players do it for 5 hours, but of the way Matt argues in the same way as he does the joke. Yeah. I mean, my girlfriend says we're like a married couple, so what can we say? We've been called the Ant and Dec of darts. Phoebe called us Dick and Dom.
What was we doing? I was playing. Oh yeah, I was playing FIFA earlier, and I was like, "Lay me through," and he didn't. And he's like, "It's okay." I said, "Yeah, but we could have been 2-0 up." They scored off the counter attack, and then we lost like 7-1 or something.
Yeah.
Could have been 2-0 up.
But also, I scored the winning goal on FIFA in a game. I was like, yeah. I'm looking at the screen, I'm doing a little flip with my character.
Zach's new.
I turn over, and Matt's got his butt in my face, and he's farting. He literally just went. I'm like, is that the thanks I get?
Yeah.
That's the thanks I get for scoring the winning goal. Absolutely ridiculous. But
we've changed from darts chat
to the casual chat. Well, I guess there's not really been as much on this week.
No, it's all about the Grand Prix, really, isn't it? So
yeah. What I will say though is we've got the Winmore launch coming up.
Yes.
End of October. I think that could be massive. I would love to see that if they release a new dartboard. I think that'd really stir things up.
I don't think they need to as such.
I don't think they need to, but maybe they will just to be like.
Well, anything you can do, we'll have a go.
It'd be interesting to see if they get any new Van Gogh darts because Van Gogh will design darts.
Yeah.
And release them. And I know some people will buy them. Some people will get angry because he doesn't even use them.
Yeah.
I'm sure Harrow's have got a mini launch as well, which will be quite exciting. I'm just thinking what else is going on in the future.
There's a lot coming up, and we've got the European Championships coming up. We've got a lot coming up. It's a bit of a quieter week this week. Obviously, we had county as well.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't look at the county stats to go over county.
There's quite a few draws I saw, but
Warwickshire are doing very well this year. Yeah. Big win against Essex. I know Warwickshire because I follow them because obviously that's where I used to play. So I do track them.
Was it a smelly fart? Do you know what? Sometimes it's just loud, but then other times...
The one I did on you the other night was loud.
Yeah. It was just a bit loud. He's all talk, Matt, on his butt. But, you know, I think sometimes you never know what you're going to get. A good smelly one, or I say good, it's not good. But a smelly one or just a windy one. But yeah. What do you think of the Target launch that happened? It was a good launch overall. I think the ideas of the dartboard was good. I haven't tried it myself. They always make good quality products. Some people get
like this one's 70-inch dartboard. It's a good dartboard. It's a good dartboard. Yeah. Love that. We will keep it quite short tonight, though. Anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to. I guess if you've got any questions, guys, do stick them in. But
we just want to come on and have a bit of a chat over the couple of topics there. If you do have something that comes up in the week that you'd like to go over, drop a message to one of us on social media. We'll pick that up and we'll put that into next week's chat. Next week, like I say, we've got a lot of topics. We've obviously got to review this Grand Slam. We've got the European Championship coming up and lots of other bits. Lots of bits of equipment and things to go over as well. There's loads due to come. There's loads due to come. It's
Stay tuned.
hopefully we'll be able to say some of it more next week as well. So yeah, thanks for joining us for another chat about the darts, and maybe depending how it is, we might come on tomorrow as well with the final. So keep your eyes out for that as well. We might, if we've got time, we'll come on for the final as well. So yeah, we'll catch you all soon, guys.